Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. The 2019 District 39 Council meeting will come to order. I am Wes Johnson, your District Director and Presiding Officer at this meeting. Welcome, club officers, district staff, members, and guests. Thank you for, well, I'm going to mute all.
There's a phone number.
Here we go. Thank you all for, thank you to my administrative team for all the hard work that you have put in for the last couple of weeks. Trio, Christy and Nancy for the work on the budget, Renee Fink for all the hours you put into the budget, and all of the answering all the questions and doing all the videos and everything else that's related to that. Kathy O'Ray for the time you've put into the meeting documents, George Jurasic for the time you've put into credentials and virtual voting, and to the parliamentarian, Rick Sider, for asking me the tough questions. And where's Rick Sider? Unmute him. Okay. Unmute. So we are waiting. Oh, where's it? Do we have Anthony Lucido here?
Yes.
All right, Anthony. Our inspirational thought will be delivered by Division A Director Anthony Lucido.
Good morning, everyone. I'd just like to mention that everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. That was Martin Luther King, and each and every one of us are here to serve our fellow human beings.
Thank you, Anthony. Will you also read the district mission?
Yes, we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence.
Thank you. As we go forward in our roles this year, it is vitally important that we keep the district mission in mind with everything we do. This includes the work we do during this district council meeting as well. Our goal is to achieve President's Distinguished, which means that we need 76 distinguished clubs, 159 clubs in good standing, and 5,811 paid members. Over the course of this year, we will be attempting to reach those goals. And part of these things are achieved through all of your efforts, and the budget is one of those things that supports all of our actions. So I want to thank you all for attending. And right now, what I'm currently going to do is bring on George Jurasic to talk about the Credential Committee report. Is he okay? 1 second.
Do it. Okay. Thanks, Wes. I cut off at midnight last night for registrations. I used the email that was used on Zoom. If it was empty, then I used the email on the club officer list. Here's the report, my credentials report. Clubs represented. 51 clubs needed. We have 84 clubs represented. Club delegates. We needed 102 needed. We got 108. At-large delegates represented, 34 out of 55. Total ballots available, 142. Majority, 72. Two-thirds majority, 95. And I'll start the election when you tell me to.
Thank you, George. We would like the council to, or sorry, are there any questions for the committee, for the credentials committee chair? Hearing none, we will continue on. We would like for the council to use a single ballot method for voting for the required vote, approving the following items. Oh, I have one more thing. If the chair, or if there is not a quorum of votes, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the credentials committee report. But there was a quorum that was for the registered ones, but the question is, do we have enough that are attending right now that are?
You only have 86 participants, so keep going on with the meeting.
Okay.
Wes, I went and looked it up on the website for the virtual meeting, and you were correct that attendance does not determine the quorum. The registration does.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I put the rule citation in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's very confusing.
I know, this is our first time. We are learning as we go. Thank you, Russ.
Russ, can you send me your source, please?
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and continue with the voting, or talk about the voting procedure as we are moving in. We would like the council to use a single ballot method for voting for the required vote, approving the following items: the audit report, appointed district officers, and to approve the budget. This means all voting would be deferred until after all three matters are discussed. Once discussed, we would proceed with a single voting process that has one ballot with three different things to vote on. Let's see here. If the council are once discussed, we would proceed with a vote to determine the results. And these votes would happen during this meeting. The voting would open and close during this meeting, and we would all have the results after the results are closed. It's a digital vote, which means that all of the results would be available immediately. If the council objects to using a single ballot for voting, then we will be required to use individual ballots for each item, adding to the length of the meeting. Without objection, we plan to use a single ballot method. Here we go. What was that? Oh, I think everybody's unmuted. I'm going to unmute all. Without objection, we plan to use the single ballot method. There are no objections, so we will use the single ballot method. This means that all the voting will happen after the discussion of the three items that need to be voted on. Thank you. Everybody's unmuted. Oh, remute? Okay. I'm going to mute everyone, so if you need to talk, then please unmute yourself or raise your hand. There we go. Okay, next thing is confirmation of appointed district officers. So I'm going to, or the appointed district officers were posted on the meeting, the meeting notes, but I am going to read off all of the appointments, if I could find it here. Okay, here it is. So for the core team appointments, administrative manager, Catherine O'Ray. For finance manager, Renee Fink. For public relations manager, Patricia Peters. Oh, by the way, these are all voting members that we are talking about that were appointed. For division director appointments, for division C, Yuki Ahrens. For division D, Ed Johnson. For area director appointments, for area A11, Tom Christ. A12, Frederick Steinman. A13, Kathleen Sandoval. A14, Rowena Baccaro. B21, Christina Pacifico. B22, Carolyn Lancaster. B23, William Inman. B24, Brittany Jenke. C31, April Showers. C32, Paul Stubbs. C33, Tony Small. D41, Bernard De Los Santos. D42, Linda Mendez. D43, Brandon Flatt. E51, Jason McDowell. E52, Clark Pierce. E53, Denise Guthers. E54, William Hovey. F61, Christine Garrity. F62, Ray Ryle. F63, Ryan Hines. F64, Gail Pileman. G71, Anna Yu. G72, Sandra Pfeiffer. G73, Diana Irvine. G74, Hugh Nguyen. H81, Reham Nawar. H82, Sharon Zhang. H83, Jaitika Nand. H84, Carla Carr. I91, Theo Pope. I92, Richard Santos. I93, Dennis Andrade. I94, Linda Ruiz. J1, Min Woo. J2, Tobias Stockler. J3, Kirk Amato. And J4, Kenneth Bradshaw. These officers must be approved by the district council. And I'm unmuting all. Without objections, the following officers are appointed in these confirmed positions. There is no objection. The following officers are appointed to their respective positions. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone again. Okay. Now we will have the approval of the minutes for spring 2019. Please welcome Catherine O'Ray.
Good morning, everyone.
Wait, are you unmuted? Are you unmuted?
Can you hear me? There we go. Good morning, everyone. The district executive meeting members, do you have any corrections to the spring council meeting minutes? Your minutes would have been in your package that was sent out earlier via email, via website, I'm sorry. District Council members, the minutes can be corrected at any time. You do not have to be present. Mr. Director, I give you the minutes as distributed.
Thank you. As a reminder, if you do have corrections, you can type them into this, into the chat thing here to share with Kathy or Ray so that she can make corrections. Or you can contact her via email. The District Audit Committee report. Okay. Yes, the audit report. Oh.
Excuse me 1 minute. I just have to pull that up.
Are you unmuted? Okay. You need to click the lower left-hand corner. Unmute yourself.
Wes, if you have yours muted, we hear you in the echo.
Did I lose it again? Did I?
No.
Click on this picture. This picture.
Catherine, okay, I'm unmuting you. There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, I just have to pull up the report. Do you have the report on hand?
Okay,
Yeah,
give us
I'm
1
looking.
second. She's getting it.
There we go. Scroll, scroll. It'll be the next thing. Yes, okay, scroll. As you will notice through the report, we had a lot of pages here. Our year-end audit, we processed on the ninth month, 3rd day, so on September 3rd, 2019, Cindy Hitano, Robert Bleimer, and myself, we reviewed the information that Renee set out for us, and we now would like to offer the audit as complete. We have been able to send the information to Toastmasters International.
Thank you, Catherine. Are there any corrections? No, there's not. Oh, I wanted to remind everyone that we will be voting on approval of this when we do the final voting process. The next thing is our 2019-2020 fiscal report by Renee Fink.
Hello, everyone. In your packet was the Finance Manager report for today. The balances that are current through Toastmasters International for July 31st, we had $715.94 in our PayPal account. We had $41,567.20 in the district reserve account for a total cash on hand of $42,283.14. As a requirement of Toastmasters International, we must maintain a $14,420 balance in our district reserve. So what's available for funds is $27,863.14. Also in my report were the summary of the 2018-2019 financial results. Overall, our revenue was $86,084. Total expenses were $73,574, and our income was $12,510. We surpassed our budget by $25,677. The team last year did an awesome job in keeping costs down, and we didn't spend as much money as we had to. Does anyone have any questions on the current financial information? Please put it in the chat if you do. Okay, I don't see anything coming through on the chat. You could always feel free to ask me questions. You could email me at finance@district39.org.
Okay. Thank you, Renee. The next thing that we're covering is going to be the budget. Do you want to share your screen?
I can.
That might help.
Let me get to the right tab. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, probably
Okay,
need to zoom it a little bit.
Yeah. I have it on my, all right. So this is the summary page of the budget. We did have a town hall meeting that lasted a little over an hour to go through page by page of what makes up these numbers. For those of you who are in accounting, it looks very strange to have the balances being negative, but Toastmasters International works on what's called a reserve type of accounting. We start the year with this total stockholder equity, and we started with 38,000. We have to maintain that 25%, which is 14,420. That's what I referenced in my financial report. And the goal of doing the budget is to make this number here as close to zero as possible. We were able to get it within, less than $10. This page in particular summarizes all the types of revenue that comes in and expenses that goes out. Since I went tab by tab in the town hall meeting, which the link is still available for you to review, and feel free to ask any questions if you haven't had time to review this before this meeting. Another constraint that we have with our budget is we have to stay within these parameters, these percentage parameters per Toastmasters International. And we were able to do that for all of our categories of spend. The other thing that changed since our last meeting was the district had planned to increase the mileage rate to 28 cents. Since then, Toastmasters International put out an addendum to their financial policies that they are now, per the IRS, not allowed to pay more than the charity rate of 14 cents per mile. We understand that this is not enough to really cover your costs, but it's something that we have to comply with because Toastmasters International is a nonprofit organization. So we've adjusted our budget down based on that. It did affect the budget a little bit, but with these categories of spend, I won't go through the detail that I did the other night, but if there are any further questions, I know Wes has answered quite a few that have come in since that town hall meeting, and since people were able to ask questions after hearing it, we could take those questions now.
I'm going to go ahead and unmute. Okay, I am unmuting everyone. If you do have a question,
it was actually fall because Alex had this uniform.
No, you're right. You're right.
Hold on, I'm trying to. There we go. Okay, if you have a question, please raise your hand if you are on the web. Or if you have a question, can you state your name, the club that you are with, and the office that you hold? Okay, there is a question that says, how are the packets distributed? They are on the District 39 website. If you go to District 39, you go to the meeting that's happening right now. The links are there for all of the packet information.
Okay.
There were also links in the email that was sent out as a reminder for those that don't go to the district website. It was there. It was also in the Facebook group. We tried to make it as accessible to everyone as possible, so you know where to find it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and unmute mute everyone again. I'm going to describe what the voting process is going to be, since that is our next thing. Okay. So for the voting process, here is what is going to happen. We are going to open the voting window. We are going through election runner, so you will receive an email from, probably a do not reply email from election runner after we open up the election. You will, if you have one vote, you will receive one email. If you have 2 votes, you will receive 2 emails. If you have 3 votes, you will have 3 emails. In order for each of those votes to count, you open up the email. There's a link in there. You click on the link. It will get you to the website. From there, you will select your voting, or you will select your voting preferences, and then you will submit it. And as soon as we do this, you will hear, you will know that or after you have finished your vote, you will get a confirmation that your vote was received. If there are questions, you can type them in here or type them in the chat area. George.
Yes.
Now is the time to start the election. To start the voting process. So please do the single ballot with the 3 voting items on it.
I will start the Saturday's vote with all 3 items on it right now.
Thank you. This is going to be coming to the email that you registered with. If you, and as George said, the registration was cut off at midnight last night. So if you did not get your registration in by midnight last night, you will not receive a vote because you, basically the credentials office was closed. George went to bed. So please check your emails. Or actually, he will tell us as soon as it has started. Yes. While we are waiting for the vote to begin, we will talk a little bit about the district success plan. The trio has spent a lot of time going through the district success plan. It has been posted on our website. It has also been submitted to Toastmasters International. Overall, the success plan talks about the success that we are planning to have with our district. We have declared that we are working towards a President's Distinguished year as a district. And as I said before, the Toastmasters International sets the goals for us. So we have some goals that were already written down, but I'll go over them again. 76 distinguished clubs. Last year we were pretty close, but we didn't have 50%. So we need to get 50% of all of our clubs to be distinguished. We need 159 clubs. We started out the year with a base of, what was it? 151, and we already have 2 new ones that have joined us with some others in the pipeline. I just received a message from Election Runner that says that our election has launched. So check your emails and make sure that you open them up and then select your voting or select your voting selections.
Yes,
submit.
I submitted it, Wes.
Thank you. Yeah, I received an email that says that it has launched.
And I applied the discount.
Thank you. We have confirmation that people are starting to receive their emails now. I'm going to pause the recording while the election is going on so we don't waste a bunch of space. All right, I am resuming the recording, and we're going to go ahead and continue on with the reports while the while the voting process is going on. So we'll go ahead and start off with the Leadership Committee report. Is Jane here? Unmute all. Is Jane Taff online?
I forgot why we said we was doing dinner anyway. Oh, because she said
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and mute
she
all.
missed us.
Except for me, right? Okay. All right. So for the Leadership Committee, one of the things is we're getting ready to start off with assembling the team for the District Leadership Committee. And if you are interested in serving on it, please send an email to me, to wes.johnson@district39.org, and we will go ahead and start to assemble this team. There is no realignment committee report. We have only had, we've had 2 new clubs that have joined, and they've been assigned to the divisions and areas that seemed appropriate at the time. Now let's move on to our report of the International Board of Directors. Please welcome
Thank you, Wes.
Rick Sider.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
There has been no board minute issued since June the 26th, but I have been made aware that all of the propositions passed at the International Convention. If you look at your June Toastmaster magazine, you will see the propositions. I believe it's A to L. As soon as the board minutes are published and everyone here online is able to go to the World Headquarters site and see that for themselves, all you do is type in board minutes and search. And when that page comes up, you look under 2019 and the latest date of the board minutes will be available for you. I have no further inkling of what's happening at World Headquarters until the board minutes are published. As for the Procedures Committee, you will notice that the procedures are on the District 39 website. There are 7 procedures. In the old days, we knew them as standing rules. changes have to be made to number 3, number 6, and number 7. And I'm planning to have something at the spring conference. I look forward to everybody's input into what other procedures can be made to that. And at that time, hopefully we'll have something in writing. Renee, I'm going to get back to you on that, on the expenses for District 39. And Mr. Director, that's all that I have.
Thank you.
I'll take any questions. Okay, I'm going on mute.
All right. The next one, or the next report, is from our Public Relations Manager, Patricia Peters.
Good morning, everyone. Is everyone able to hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Director. All righty, so let's, well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for participating in this call this morning. As the Public Relations Manager, please help me welcome what we've comprised of our team thus far, and that is Ms. Karen Cole-Ainley, serving as our webmaster, Ms. Linda Davis-Mezdes, serving as our social media chair, and Ms. Joey Waldrop, serving as our audiovisual chair. I am very excited to report that we do have a newsletter chair and a couple of committee availabilities beneath that. So this is a little impromptu for me, but particularly presidents and vice presidents of education and area directors and division directors as well. If you know someone in your club who enjoys editing, who enjoys collecting information, who enjoys writing, who enjoys compiling it, please have them reach out to me at patricia.peters@district39.org, and it would be lovely to assemble a newsletter chair as well. So we do have some objectives, and that is to disseminate information as accurately and as quickly as we're able to do so using the various platforms that are best available and best used by our district. I would like to implement the district YouTube. We're doing very, very nicely with our meetups, with our Facebooks, the dissemination and use of constant contact for information. As I mentioned just a few moments ago, the implementation of a quarterly newsletter. And this is also very exciting, District 39 Council, the implementation of a branding task force and committee, as will co-chair with me, Ms. Karen Cole-Ainley, and Wes Johnson will be instrumental with this as well. So that is very exciting, and you can expect some additional information as we come up with a plan comes together for that. We have some completed announcements that were circulated throughout this last quarter. August 6th, we had a Go for the 7 officers train that was circulated. We had a wonderful reception of that. Sometimes I check the stats. Actually, I do every time check the stats of the open rates and the click rates and whatnot. So that was very, very, very nice. We had a circulated to all of our membership on August the 8th was a distinguished in December incentive. And I think that Christy will be touching base on that one a little bit more. One of my favorite things that we have circulated thus far is coverage of the Toastmasters International Convention. And I really have to give special thanks to contributions from so many people, including our social media chair, Linda Mendez Davis, Christy Barris, Nancy Potts, Donna Lewis, Minda Davis, Catherine O'Ray, George Jurasic. Thank you all very much. I'm kind of going chronologically here. So based from the convention on September the 4th, we had a Pathways Club Champion incentive, which I think Christy will touch base a little bit on further. And we have wonderful meetup requests are trickling in and being coordinated. I've scheduled 4 thus far, so I think that that's wonderful. There will be some forthcoming announcements with regards to the Fall Summit, and I heard wind of a winter summit as well, and that is the extent. Oh, we also have a couple of chartered clubs. We have the Cinnamon Toastmasters Club, and George, correct me if I'm wrong, the banners and everything have been ordered for Thundermasters as well, correct?
They have been ordered. I have received the stands.
Oh!
Yes.
Okay.
I have received the stands. I received the lecterns, but we're still waiting for the banners.
Okay, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow District 39ers, I'm very excited to be able to share with you the completed announcements that we've completed, and the organization of the Public Relations Manager team. And I'm looking forward to diving into the other capacities of the Public Relations Manager, such as the newsletter and the implementing the branding task force and committee. So I thank you all very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and please let me know should you have any questions. I don't have a chat box.
You,
And if I do, I don't see it.
oh, it's under, if you highlight the bottom part, are you on your phone or are you on a computer? Okay. All right. The club growth director, Nancy Potts, is not available. She is out abroad. Unfortunately, because of our rescheduled time for this meeting, she had prior engagements. She has posted her report, and you can review that online. The next person in line is Program Quality Director, Christy Barris.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's been kind of a busy summer for all of us, and I wanted to thank Russ, Wes, Nancy, I know you're on the phone, and Patricia for all your help this year. We had a great response to our training this year. Last year, I think we had 7 clubs with 7 for 7 officers trained. As of the first training period, we have 31. I also wanted to give huge props to Russ, because Russ and Wes, you guys together, we kind of worked together, and we found some trainings that kind of worked for everybody. And if those 31 clubs go 7 for 7 next year, they get 20 pens. And I checked with Kathy, and she said, well, the pens we kind of issued before had a history of leaking. And so I'm glad, Kathy, you gave us a heads up, and thanks to Renee and Wes and Nancy, we're upgrading the pens. So they're like the slightly more expensive stylus pens that hopefully won't leak, because it's not much of an incentive if we say, hey, thank you for getting everybody trained, and then give them kind of faulty pens. So I wanted to thank the entire team for that incentive. Another change that has happened since we last chatted probably is the fact that training was moved up a month. Instead of training starting in December, Toastmasters International announced to us the day before our training started that our training starts in November, which is great. Yeah, as soon as you catch your breath thinking training's over, guess what? It's starting up again. So this is something for, if you're an area director, if you're a division director, you've probably received 100. If you're a division director, I know you received 100 emails from me already. But if you're an area director, this is something to start considering. And it's the new training requirements. I don't think this was in my report, but this was something that Russ, Wes, and I talked about. We want it to be accomplished in 3 or 4 hours, or just in one night. The first hour will be the group, all 7 officers being trained together about accomplishing the Distinguished Club program goals together. The second hour we'd like to be devoted to evaluations. I'm not sure how many of you heard Deepak Menon's presentation last year, but his major gist was evaluations are the heart of Toastmasters. So I'd like to focus on the quality side of either just kind of reaffirming teaching, and it can be on club evaluations, it could be giving evaluations at contests. They are different. Just cover an hour about about different ways of giving evaluations. And again, we're kind of giving the trainers and the division directors a lot of leeway on this, because it's kind of important to, it's kind of important that we want something to help your clubs. And the third piece is the free-for-all. It's a trainer's choice, and it can have anything to do with what you think your district, your division, your clubs need. It might have something to do with pathways. It might have something to do with parliamentary procedures. It might have something to do with creative and using creative and fun meetings. If you have a bunch of corporate clubs, maybe how to recruit members, just one, because you may not be using an external social media site. So we really want the third hour to be devoted to what, as trainers, as division directors, we think that your clubs need. And again, I want to thank Russ, I want to thank Wes for giving us the flexibility. What else has been happening? We have a spring summit coming up we have a spring summit coming up. It's almost across the street. If I walked 5 minutes outside my door, I could show you where it is. It's right across the street in Carmichael. It is happening November 2nd. There was a registration glitch where you couldn't register online, but I believe it has been fixed. Right, Wes?
Yeah, I fixed it as soon as I found out about it.
And so you should be able to register. It is $39. It's going to be fun. We have Sarah Kahn as a keynote speaker. She is doing something on connection. We have awards from last year for the President's Club, for the President's Distinguished Clubs, the Select Distinguished Clubs, and the Distinguished Clubs. At least those awards have been ordered, right, Wes?
Yes.
So the awards have been ordered.
Oh, we've received quite a few, or I have received quite a few rewards. I want to share them with the district.
And we want to, and we definitely want to share them with you guys, because if we don't share them, that means Wes is going to be mailing them, and we would rather share them with you guys at the fall summit than mail them to you, because Wes doesn't want to spend. It's more fun to share, and we have about an hour, and we have about an hour to do it, and then the final hour will be something that I know you're all excited about, is contest training. Woohoo! Because it's thank you, Tricia. Contests are happening at this point. What the instructions we've gotten from Toastmasters International is you can have, if you want to have a humorous speech or table topics contest at your club, go for it. Use it as a public relations event. Use it as a club membership event. But for the evaluations and international contests, anything that's going to go above and beyond, you can do that as well. But that's the only contest that can go beyond the club level. But if you want to do a table topics or humorous speech event the next couple months, go for it. I mean, you could probably have some fun with Halloween and table topics, or Thanksgiving and table topics, or humor. I mean, who doesn't have a humorous family story at Thanksgiving? So it's one of these things that it's one of those opportunities that we have to celebrate. What happened is when we scheduled the training, what happened is we scheduled the training, we only had the room for 5 hours, and we cannot get the room any longer. And with the other events that we already scheduled, we can't add, there will not be official club training at the Fall Summit. It will be a contest training, so it will not be part of the Fall Summit. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but I think it possibly was to help with the distinguished, well, let me rephrase that. Toastmasters International has been wanting to step back so that clubs can focus on quality club meetings and membership buildings. And by moving up training early in the year, it's giving clubs the opportunity to focus on getting members trained so they can focus on the distinguished club goals earlier in the year, instead of there's kind of a mad rush to get everything accomplished in April and May. That wasn't explicitly told to us at Denver, but I think that was the reasoning behind it. So we have the Fall Summit coming up. We also have a spring conference announcement coming up. I will hold off on that until the end of the meeting, so just stay tuned. And that concludes my report. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you covered everything. Thank you. Thank you, Christy. All right. George.
Yes, what?
Okay. I think it's time for us to go ahead and close the election.
Okay, I'm closing the elections. Okay, elections have been closed.
All right. So we are going to go ahead and publish the results. Copy. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, good. Thanks, Wes.
All right. And give me a second here. We had 87 votes, and what was the majority?
Majority is 72.
72. Okay, so we had we had 87 votes for, one abstained. We have a majority, and the budget passes. The budget is approved.
Woohoo!
Yay!
For the approval of the appointments, we have 87 voted yes, one abstention. The appointments have been approved.
Woo!
For the audit results approval, we had 88 people vote, or 88 ballots cast, and we have 100% yes. So those are the results. The results will be published on the district website and shared on Facebook. So next is unfinished business, the 2020 Spring Conference Facilities Report by Christy Barris.
Oh, okay. What I want for some reason, why am I suddenly surprised? I thought there were a few more minutes. What would happen is we.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Am I here? Hello?
Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to go ahead and stop my sharing. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. What happened is a committee was appointed. Thank you, Julie, Linda, Joey, for all your hard work. Linda Mendez. And 10 venues were reviewed. Some were excluded because they couldn't accommodate 150 to 200 people. Some were excluded because the costs were going to be close to $200 for the conference. And and some wanted like $20 a day for parking. So we settled on a conference venue. We didn't settle. We picked a conference venue of the Hyatt Hotel in Elk Grove. The conference stay, and I want to make sure I have this information. It will be on Friday, April 17th and Saturday, April 18th. Does that look right on everybody's calendars?
17th and 18th.
Friday, 17th and April 18th.
April.
April 8th, yep, 2020.
April 2020.
April 2020, it will be in Elk Grove. It has a hotel that can accommodate people. That was a big concern for a lot of folks. The schedule is still being finalized. We have gotten verbal confirmation from a couple of keynote speakers. One of our Region 1 International Director, Naomi Takeuchi, who Nancy and I had a chance to interview with, lovely person. She will be doing a speech about empowerment, which is super exciting. And then the other person who I know Rick told me is not the official keynote, but who we're still potentially excited to have, and he's given Wes and I verbal confirmation, is the current world champion of public speaking, Aaron Beverly.
Wow.
This was a major, and again, I'm going to credit social media. Social media gets a bad rap, but I reached out to both Naomi and Aaron on Facebook Messenger, and they said, yeah. I said, it's a long shot. Are you free? And I also want to thank Wes for giving us a budget. If we only had a budget of $100, we couldn't fly him from Philadelphia. So we want our world champions to take a plane and not a donkey. So thank you, Wes, for giving us a budget so that we can have a world champion and empowering me to reach out to Aaron. So this is super exciting. And again, the final, last but not least, that's so redundant. I think Rick Sider hates when I say that. Our conference chair will be someone who I'm super excited about. She comes to Sacramento every week. She has a great relationship with a lot of people in the district, and she is not officially committed to any leadership this year. And our conference chair is Minda Furnish. So
Yay, congratulations.
I think she's on the phone. So round of applause for Minda Furnish. Yay!
So we do have one correction.
Oh.
It was the Holiday Inn Express. It's recently remodeled, but it is in Elk Grove.
Thank you. And my sense of direction, I will get that right, and it will be right on the flyers. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Denise. Denise Alder has been super helpful in creating the flyers for the Fall Summit. We may be asking for your help again for the flyers, for your help and Patricia's help for the Spring Summit, but that will be come. But there's definitely more information coming. Stay tuned for more details, and Mid to Furnish will definitely be getting the information out there, and we will get this. I see your note. Rick. We'll get this information up on the calendar as soon as possible. Thank you. And I'll get it up. I'll get what we have up as soon as possible. Are there questions?
No questions, Christy, but I humbly accept the offer to create a flyer, and I will get that to you.
Actually, get it to Minda. That's kind of the first thing. Yeah. So let's talk to. We're working. Minda, Nancy, and Wes and I had a great conversation on Sunday, and we want Minda to be the first to review a lot of these things. And it's not going to be me saying this is what's happening. And it's kind of what you're going to notice this year is kind of with the division directors. Like I'm kind of sending, for example, you, Karen and Bill, you don't know this yet, but I'm going to be asking you guys if you guys can lead a training in the next couple months. And it's about empowerment. And it's kind of something where we want to give Minda, there's certain things that, yeah, Wes and I kind of have the final say on things, but there's a lot of things that we want Minda to be able to pick and choose. And the flyer is kind of one of them. And that's something that also training. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns?
Thank you, Christy. Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I forgot one more thing. We have a winter summit coming up in January. I think the January DECM will be held. And Nancy's not on the phone, but Russ and Nancy, you guys are working on that, right?
Oh, all right. Well, once we get to our announcements, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was an announcement. Okay, my bad.
What's that? Oh, I'm going to mute everybody for a second. Okay. Is there, so that is the end of our unfinished business. Is there any new business? Hearing none, we will move on to announcements. Do we have any, okay, so we're going to go ahead and make the announcement. The meeting hall. The next district executive committee meeting will happen at 700 H Street on October 12th, 2019 at 9 a.m. or from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. All of the district council or district executive committee is expected to be there. Please show up because we have gifts for you, and we hope that you will be there so that I don't have to mail them or be delayed in delivering them to you. So please show up so that we can share things like pins and other paraphernalia. Thank you. The next thing is the next district council business meeting is going to happen in Elk Grove. I don't have the details written down, but it's in Elk Grove on April the 18th. The time is to be determined. It will be shared probably at the next DECM, which is on October 12th. Are there any objections, or if there are no objections?
Wes?
Yes, sir.
I strongly recommend that the division directors get their spring contests on the calendar so areas, then clubs can plan when to hold their contest. You have about half on the calendar right now.
Thank you. Christy has actually been communicating with all of the division directors, and they have that information, or she has that information.
I can make a quick announcement about that. Right now, tentatively the dates, we don't have the locations, but divisions A and B are going to be Saturday, March 21st, Division C, March 7th, Division D, March 5th, Division E, March 28th, Division F, March 6th, Division H, March 13th, Division I, March 14th, Division J, March 27th. Division G will be on a weeknight, probably. We intentionally left March 20th dark. We don't want a contest happening that night to allow for the AV team to travel at dark hour or early morning after one contest following another to Reno. So and if we can't force the areas to have their contests all in February, but we'd like them to so that the division directors can support each other's contests. And my last request is if you're going to have a contest and a division director training on the same day in February, which is possible with the change of conference and contest, with the change of conference date, please schedule your conferences before your trainings. And the reason for that is we don't want trainers, someone who's being a trainer, potentially who may be a contestant, that's an undue visibility issue. So yes, Rick, all this information, once the division directors have it, they will be posting this information on District 39 website on the calendar.
Thank you, Christy. And thank you, Rick. Are there any other announcements or comments? All right. Hearing none, sorry. If there are no objections to adjourning, then yeah, if there are no objections to adjourning.
Minda was trying to say something, but she was muted.
Who
Can I
was?
say something, Minda?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my goal is conference chair this year. I'm kind of excited about it. We'll see how it unfolds. But I'd love to have a smooth running conference that's educational, inspiring, and leaves everybody smiling. The theme we've picked this year is Rise Up. It's a twofold theme because I personally believe that participation is how we get the most benefits from Toastmasters. And RISE is also the acronym for our core values, which are respect, integrity, service, and excellence. And so if we focus on those core values, I think we'll have an absolutely dynamite contest, or conference rather. And so if you're interested in participating, or well, not participating, well, participating as a volunteer, you can be in touch with me. I'll put my email in the chat, but it's mfurnish, M as in Minda, FERNISH @gmail.com. So I just look forward to rising up together. Thanks, Wes.
All right. Just as a reminder, this business meeting will be recorded and will be published online on the district website, and the links will be shared with you sometime today, probably later on tonight. And I believe that that's it. Without objection, I would like to adjourn this meeting. Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, Wes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.